Hi everyone, I hope you're well. I really love desserts made with fruit. I find them super satisfying and a good way to pack flavor and nutrition into my diet. Today I'm going to share a really tasty recipe with you. It's a clafoutis made with mixed summer fruits. Clafoutis is a homey, welcoming French dish that you can prepare in about 10 minutes. It takes about 30 minutes to bake, so you can pop it in the oven just before dinner and it'll be warm and waiting for you just in time for dessert. Clafoutis is typically made with dark cherries, baked in a kind of sweet, cakey flan batter. But it can be made with any kind of soft fruit, including bananas, fresh figs, peaches, plums. Today I'll show you a version that uses frozen summer fruits, including blackberries, raspberries, and red and black currants. Okay, I have all of my ingredients for the clafoutis, and you can see it's pretty simple stuff. I've got some milk, some plain flour, some butter for greasing the baking dish, and some butter to melt and to put into the batter to richen it up a little bit. I've got some vanilla extract. I've got a lemon, which I'm going to grate the zest to go into the batter. I've got a bit of salt, 3 eggs, sugar, and the kind of star of the clafoutis. It's a 500-gram bag of frozen soft fruit, which I think includes raspberries, blackberries, red and black currants. Sometimes you get summer fruits with strawberries in there as well, and I would say go for that. That's quite nice too. Any kind of soft fruit will work. And just before we get started, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about the cost of fruit these days, fresh versus frozen. And I mentioned that clafoutis is traditionally made with cherries, so you might want to try doing that sometime as well. But cherries can be hugely expensive, and they're in season now, which it seems a bit mad. I did find on special a kilo of black cherries, fresh, for £3.62, which is pretty good. Normally, which is to say the sort of Tesco's brand of fresh cherries, is anywhere between £7.50 and £10 a kilo. Crazy. The larger size you buy, the cheaper it becomes, but still, at £7.50 a kilo, it's a bit expensive. Frozen cherries, if you can find them, they didn't have them at Tesco's, but I looked online, and they go for £4.17 a kilo. So you would still be better off getting the frozen version if you're looking to watch your spend. A little bit about some other berry prices, which are very expensive if you buy them fresh. Blackberries, for instance, are £9.94 a kilo fresh, and frozen they're £5.72. That's almost half the price savings for frozen versus fresh. Blueberries are £13.34 fresh, and £5 the kilo frozen. Raspberries, oh my gosh, raspberries £16.67 a kilo, and frozen they're £5.72. That's almost a third of the price for frozen. Just mad. The mixed summer fruits, by the way, are £4 the kilo, so pretty good price for the frozen version. We're using 500 grams of frozen summer fruit, so that will cost us £2 for this dessert, which serves 4 people. So the message here is check prices. Usually the frozen version of the fruit is going to be cheaper, but there are specials going on out there. So look at the prices and go with the best value for money. If you particularly want fresh for your recipe, then splurge or wait till they go on sale and go with the fresh version. Okay, so the first step is to grease the dish with a bit of butter and finish it off with a little bit of sugar to give it a nice sweet crust. So this is about a tablespoon of butter. And just spreading that around. Okay, and then about a tablespoon of sugar. And just give that a good slapping about to coat the bottom and the sides. Maybe a little bit more. Great, done. Okay, now we're going to put together the batter in basically 2 steps. We'll mix the dry ingredients together and then the wet ingredients. For the dry, I've got half a cup of flour, 6 tablespoons of sugar, half a lemon zested. If you don't have a microplane zester like this, just use the small holes in a grater. Great, done. A good pinch of salt. And we're going to whisk that together until well combined. Then we're going to add the wet ingredients. First, my eggs. And I want to just beat those first to make sure they're nice and smooth. And I'm going to put all the wet ingredients in at the same time, so I'll add the eggs to the milk just to make it simpler. This is 2 tablespoons of melted butter just to richen up the batter a bit. And finally, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we go. Good. And I'm just whisking this in to the flour. Not adding it all at once because it's easier to get it smooth when you've got a little bit less liquid in there. Now I can see it's pretty smooth, there are no lumps. And then I can add the rest of the liquid. Okay, and that's looking kind of like a pancake batter at this stage. Okay, now it's time to throw it all together. So here's my greased and sugared bowl, into which I'm going to put 3 cups of the summer fruits. I'm going to work straight from frozen. That's 1. 2, and 3. So nearly the contents of the bag. And then add the batter. Great, and it's ready to go into the oven for 30 minutes. Okay, that's been about actually 35 or 40 minutes in the oven. And what you want to look for when you're cooking is sort of generally kind of puffy looking doneness, and the center should still be a little bit wobbly. So that's what I was looking for in baking this. Also, when you start with frozen fruit, it'll take a little bit longer to cook in the oven, and if you're working with thawed fruit, it will take a little bit less. So keep an eye on it, and again, just look for kind of puffy sides and a just set middle. And just a note about the name Clafoutis. Where does that come from? It comes apparently from the French verb clafoutir, which means to fill, as in to fill this baking dish with fruit and batter. So there's the backstory on Clafoutis. Right. To serve, you can dust with a little powdered sugar. And that's looking pretty nice, and I can tell you the smell is just wonderful. So a very berry French clafoutis. Enjoy.